Hello, my name is Yellak, and thank you so much for considering my audition to the circus space. It's a real honor. I first became interested in circus arts junior year of high school when my grandpa took us to see a small traditional traveling circus that came to town, complete with a striped tent and a boa constrictor. And it just really fascinated me and really captured me. And I've always been interested in performance. Did gymnastics as a kid, I did dance, and I was involved in a lot of theater in middle school and high school, so that was sort of the route I was always planning to take with my life, I suppose. I thought I would be an actress for a while. When I saw circus, I really loved how it combined sort of all of the elements of performance I was interested in. It was athletic, but also theatrical, and I decided that I wanted to pursue that. So after graduating high school, I moved to Philadelphia to study at the Philadelphia School of Circus Arts, and I've been training there for about a year and a half now. But the Philly school does not have a pro track, and I realized after I started taking classes there that I was going to need some sort of professional track program to really get where I needed, and thus I started looking for other schools. And I heard about the circus space through Shana Kennedy, who is actually the founding director of the Philadelphia School of Circus Arts, and she highly recommended it. So yeah, I would just really like to take the next section of my training, wherever it be, and really bring myself up to a professional level so I can hopefully pursue a career. Recently, I haven't actually seen any live shows, but I've been really fascinated and intrigued by Circus Surcore's knitting piece. Just the clips of that I've been able to see on the internet, it's absolutely amazing. So that's been really inspiring to me. And in 5 years, gosh, I mean, I would love to be performing. In 5 years, I want performance to be my career. I don't really have specific ideas about like what kind of company I would be with, the size, something like that. I do know that I would love to be involved with a group that's really focused on theater and the marriage of, you know, traditional theater and circus arts. But apart from that, I'd be very happy to be performing in a professional capacity. Academics. Totally great. I really have always loved reading. I loved school a lot. I really enjoyed it. And to be honest, that's one thing I've really missed post high school since I've been training, which I love. I love to devote a lot of time to training in athletics, but I've kind of missed being forced to read things and do homework. I do keep up with my studies a little bit. I study Japanese on my own and I try to keep up on some reading, but I would be very happy to have someone actually hold me accountable to that. So, strengths and weaknesses. I don't know, I guess my main strength or my main weakness, or the thing that stands out most to me, they're kind of flip sides of each other. As far as my weakness, I tend to be very hypercritical, particularly of myself, which can be a very good thing because you need to be critical. But it can also lead to me getting very easily discouraged and perhaps pessimistic about what I'm doing. However, on the flip side of that, I'm very driven to do things well. And I really like to get things right, and I'm very willing to put in lots of time and effort and energy into getting something right. So I think in the right balance, those things can be good. I've never had any serious injuries, just the typical small bouts of tendinitis and things like that, but nothing major, fortunately, knock on wood. Yeah. As far as financial considerations of London, yeah. Whenever I talk about London to anyone, they say, oh, I love London, it's the greatest place ever. It's really expensive, so I am prepared for that. If accepted to the circus space, I plan on taking out loans. I have some small personal savings that can go towards some of my living expenses initially. And if accepted, I'll also be vigorously searching for just any sorts of grants I can get from various institutions. And talking to people who've gone through circus training, apparently it's not as hard as one might think to find funding for that. So between loans and grants, that would be my plan. And lastly, the boot camp approach to the first semester I think is fantastic because frankly I like to focus on in my training always bringing my strength up to speed because I just feel that it's kind of futile to attempt to learn a bunch of fancy new tricks and things like that if you're really not strong enough, whereas if you build up the strength there's really no end to what you can then learn and do with it. And really, part of the reason I want to come train at a professional program and I would love to come to Circus Space is I want to get myself up to my top physical ability. I want to be the best I can be. And I really want to get myself up to a professional level, and I know there's certainly things I need to work on. I need to work on my flexibility, I need to work on some upper body strength, I need to work on my lines. So there's lots of things that I really want to fix and I want to get down, and I think that spending a lot of time just working on getting up to par physically would be fantastic, and I would love to have that. I'd also be excited to have someone coach me through that because I've been doing a lot of sort of self-coaching and training independently at the school right now, especially since my tightwire teacher actually moved away and I became her replacement. So I would love to have someone else really enforce some discipline for my training. So again, thank you so much for considering my audition. I'm very honored, and thank you very much.
So